Hunter Biden allegedly called stepmom Jill a vindictive moron in newly uncovered texts, an angry rant. Recently discovered Hunter Biden texts show that Jill Biden was not his favorite person in the world. The Sun obtained Hunter's texts on July 8, 2022, that called his stepmom several expletives. The Sun revealed that the texts were found on an Apple iPhone backup found on Hunter's infamous laptop from hell from 2018. They were handed by Marco Polo, an organization led by a former White House staffer, which is investigating the laptop. There were several conversations between Hunter, his family members, and his brother's widow about his disdain for Jill. In conversations with his late brother Beau's widow, Hallie, he said, F.K. my stepmother for always being as much of a selfish silly entitled C.T. as you. During this time, Hunter was romantically involved with Hallie, which didn't work out in the long run. In other texts with his uncle Jimmy Biden, Hunter complains about going to rehab and Jill and claims that he is smarter than her. He wrote, I said yang you know what mom you're a f-king moron. A vindictive moron. I supported my GM family including some of the costs you should have used your salary to pay for the last 24 years. And you do know the drunkest I've ever been is still smarter than you could ever even comprehend and you're a sick grammar teacher that wouldn't survive one class in a Ivy graduate program. He continued, so go FK yourself Jill, let's all agree I don't like you any more than you like me. In other texts, he also claimed that his dad President Joe Biden did not visit him at rehab. Though he said many negative things about Jill, there was one moment when he apologized for his insults. Love you dad, it's my fault, mom is right, I overreact and she is only worried about me and I promise to try to be more understanding. I love you, tell mom I love her and I'm sorry I say mean things, I don't mean them. On July 4, 2022, Hunter and Jill were pictured arriving together at Fort McNair with Joe and Hunter's family for Independence Day celebrations. In an interview with CBS This Morning in April 2021 to promote his new memoir, Beautiful Things, Hunter opened up about how his and Hallie's relationship came to be 2 years after his brother's death from brain cancer and the criticism the couple faced at the time. I think people were confused by it, Hunter said. And I understand that. I mean, I really do. To me, it's not something that is difficult to explain. Because it came out of a real overwhelming grief that we both shared. And we were together, and trying to do the right thing. And that grief turned into a hope for a love that maybe could replace what we lost. As for why he and Hallie split in 2019, Hunter simply revealed that the relationship didn't work. According to People, President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden supported the romance at the time, but many of Hunter's clients cut ties with him because of the relationship. He also had to step down from the board of directors of World Food Program US due to the controversy. Well, I made a lot of decisions that I probably shouldn't have made, Hunter said on CBS This Morning. There was a lot more compassion and understanding from the people that knew me. But it was a horrible time, too. In Beautiful Things, Hunter detailed how he and Hallie went from in-laws to something more. He revealed that their romance started in 2017 after he left Grace Grove, a rehab facility in Arizona, and went to the resort Mi Amo, where he invited Hallie to come meet him. Feeling mentally and physically purged, I phoned Hallie and asked if she would come to Arizona to pick me up, he wrote. I wanted her to accompany me on the trip back. I didn't trust myself to make it home without backsliding, without taking a detour into the pit I fell into on my way there. She flew out the next day. Hunter went on to explain that he and Hallie bonded over their shared grief following Beau's death. I was at my lowest, she was at her neediest, and we clung to each other with abandon. We talked at length about how much we had come to rely on each other, how our health and well-being seemed dependent on the love we'd grown to share, he wrote. He continued, it was an affair built on need, hope, frailty, and doom. Looking back on the relationship, Biden called the romance a giant miscalculation on both our parts and errors of judgment born of a uniquely tragic time. In Beautiful Things, Hunter confessed that he and Hallie weren't close before Beau died. He also admitted that he and his brother's widow didn't have much in common, didn't even have much to talk about when they started dating, but they continued to see each other with the hope of keeping Beau's memory alive. It seems obvious now, but then it was this unspoken, unacknowledged dynamic that had begun to impel us both, the idea that we could keep Beau alive by being together, that by loving each other we somehow could love him back into existence, Hunter wrote. Beautiful Things by Hunter Biden is available on Amazon.